I'm gonna just continue this subject because Zendaya is my future wife, and you know, I'm not even playing with y'all right now. To be completely honest with y'all, I feel like shedding tears right now. Because like that show gave me hope, man. I'm playing on, like, yeah, that show was a good show. Like, it was a really good show. Like, because the thing about most shows on TV right now is they all suck. Because it's either like shows for little ass kids, or shows for like grown ass ups, like grown ass people, grown ups that are like 30, 40 years old. Shows like 2.5 Men, shows like Friends, shows like that. Like, the only shows that are good on TV right now are probably George Lopez, and it was Casey Undercover. Because the thing about Casey Undercover is that show is not for kids. Like, it's on Disney Channel, but it's not for kids. That show is like for teenagers, or like it was for teenagers. Because Zendaya was already like 18 when she started that show. She's 21 now. That show was on for 3 years. That's the reason I like that show. That's the reason I liked watching it, because that show shows like a teenager, like teenage life, what a teenager goes through in high school. Like, in the last episode, she's going to college and everything, so she's grown up. You know, Zendaya is 21, but her character was like 16, 17, 18. Her character was like 16 at the beginning. And now that she graduated, her character was like 18. Yeah. Or nah, like, if anything, her character was probably like 15 then. Even though she was 18. Because she was 18 when it started. Zendaya was 18 when it started, but her character was 15. Because her character is 18 now. And that was 18 now in the last episode when she graduated. And like, I don't know, I know I sound dumb, I know I sound stupid, but like, I don't know, that was just a really good show. Like, I liked it a lot because, I don't know, it was unique. It was something new on TV. It was just the first time I seen it. Like, when I first saw it, the first few episodes, I was just mesmerized by it. I was just laying down, like, I was in the living room and I was watching it. I was laughing. I was laughing. Like, I could not stop laughing at it because it was such a good show. Like, it was so unique, and it wasn't predictable like a lot of other shows. Like, it was real. Like, it wasn't like a lot of other shows where they try to teach you like life lessons in every single show and every single episode. That show was not like that. That show was real. That show was like, that show was just real. Like, you could relate to it. It could just, like, they had real feelings. Like they would fight and they would argue. And, you know, they would talk mess about each other. They would diss each other and everything. Like, because that show was real. That showed what real people do in real life. And that's why I liked it a lot. And it's like one of the shows. It was a show kind of like Kenan and Kel. Because Kenan and Kel, people could, anybody like of any age could watch it. Like, whether you were a little kid or whether you were a teenager or whether you were like my age, like 19, 20 years old, you could still kind of watch it too. Or maybe not, maybe not 19, 20, but like, you were like 17, 18, you could still be watching it. Because Kenan and Kel were like 18 when they did that show too. I'm just saying, it was like one of the first shows that had a very, like, that was meant for like a very diverse audience since Kenan and Kel. Because any show that came out after Kenan and Kel was all meant for like little ass kids, or like people like 14 years old and younger. But these shows were meant for people older than 13 or 14. If you were like 15, 16, 17, you could still watch the show. Because they showed things that teenagers actually go through. But like, yeah, that's the reason that I'm upset about it. That it just out of nowhere. Like, it feels like yesterday's when it, to be honest, it feels like yesterday's when it first barely came out too. You know, nothing lasts forever. Like, to be honest, I think I think we were blessed that they even made that show in the first place. Because to be honest, she was already 18 when she made it. So if she wanted to, she could have just left that channel right then and there if she wanted to. But she wanted to keep going and she wanted to have her own show. Because she could have not even made that show if she wanted to be honest. Because she was already starting to get too old to be on that on that channel to begin with. Like I was saying, I was 17 and she was 18 when that show came out. We were both already grown up, almost grown up by the time it came out. So if Zendaya wanted to leave that channel right at that point before the show came out, she could have done that. So to be honest, we were even blessed that we had that show to begin with, is what I'm thinking about. Because I've been thinking about it and I'm just like, she's 21, like she's too old to even be doing that type of stuff. But I don't know, hopefully, like I said, I know I sound dumb tripping over a TV show like that. I'm just saying like I vibed with that show. I vibe with that show a lot. But yeah, that's the end of my story. Y'all are interested.